I think one more thing that we miss on this code is the maximize window. So we want to maximize the window or the application once we load it. So to do that, I have here a code, so you need to copy it after the option explicit line of code. Then let's just, so if you have an error like this, just add Ptrsafe, because if you are within 64-bit, you will encounter that error. If you're under 32, no need to change that. So, and then to call that function, let's copy this line of code, which is a maximize command. Paste it here, and let's just add some comment. And now let's test it. Okay, we have an error because we need to change this to object, so make sure to change that. And now let's replace this with Debug.Print. And I think we're good. The next item is to create sub procedure that will navigate to work items. So let's inspect this work item button element first. So go to Chrome. Oops, my login expire. Let me just log in first. And then here, right click, inspect. And okay, so there's no ID on this button. So for this type of scenario, I think the best solution is to loop through all the buttons and look for the inner text. So our target inner text is the work item. So to do that, okay, I think we need to test our system1 login first. And let's add a break in here. And let's try our code. So maximize should work now. Yep, the maximize code did work. And then here, so we type in this code. I want to loop through all the button in that page. So to do that, let's use for each loop. And yeah, let's Debug.Print the inner text of all the button within that page. But okay, as you can see here, these are the button inner text, and this is our target inner text, which is work items, and it has a space in front. So these are all the other button inner text. So we need this line of code. Right, so we need to here we need to declare the button first. So as HTML it's a button element. Okay, hey, what's happening? Wait, let me declare the IDoc first. So it should be again an HTML document, and then let's set that IDoc to the value of our IE.document, or to our document object. Then let's declare a button. So it should be a HTML button, and then let's set that to no. Now let's go and create our for each loop. So for each button in our IEDoc.get elements by tag name button. So next button, and then let's have here an if statement that if button that inner text is equals to work items, then button that click. Okay, so that's all that we have for the navigate work item. Let's create another procedure and let's call it main. So let's call our previous sub procedure on this. So this is our main procedure that will call all our sub procedure. So let's test it. And it works. Okay, so here we also need to manage the web page delay. So after clicking the work items button, so we need to let's add a wait time delay of how many seconds. So yeah, I think this will work. And then let's also ensure that we have the IE that ready state is equals to 4. So 4 is the equivalent number of ready state complete. So it's a one line do until loop. So I'm just using colon, and then let's say Debug.Print work item page is ready, and make sure to exit this 4. Okay, so I think we're good with that. Let's close this, and yeah, let's test it. Yes, it works. Okay, so the next item is to scrape this information and send to our Excel worksheet. So let's go back to our Excel, then let's rename this to WI5, and then let's add a header. Let's copy the header of this table to our Excel worksheet. So the first one is WID. Okay, let's add some color. Right, so let's try to inspect this table, and here here we can see that this element doesn't have an ID, so it may require us some code in here. So I just want to know if this is the only table on this page. If that's the case, we can use the index property. So it's let's try to test this code and then check how many table do we have on that page. It would be easy if there's only one. So here, let's Debug.Print the total number of table. So get elements by by tag name table, and then let's use that length to give us the number of table in that page. And here, if you run it, you can see that there's only one table, so it would be just easy for us to handle this table. So yeah, let's create a new procedure. Let's call it extract work items. So let's start with declaring our IEDoc, and of course let's set that to our IE.document object, and then let's declare this table. So table as HTML table, and then table component, let's use TD as HTML cell, and TR as HTML table row. Right, so after that we need to set the table is equals to IDoc.get elements by tag name table. So index 1, and after that we can loop through the table. So as you can see here, the first row is for the header, so later we need to bypass that. So now let's have a for each loop within the table, for each table row and table. So next TR, and then let's just print the whole row inner text. Close this, and now let's test our code. Okay, login is successful, but I put a break in here, so let's manually check it using F8. Oops. Okay, we have an error in here. Oh, there's nothing. So let me try to set the default value for our TR and TD, but yeah, we still have an error. Yeah, why we are having an error in here? So yeah, maybe we need to put here the get elements by tag name tr instead. So let's use f8, and we still have an error. So sometimes it's good that we have an error like this, so I can show you how we could fix it. So click debug, and why are we having error? Let's try to print the table inner text instead, to make sure that we handle the table property. But yeah, we have an error with the table, so it's the problem with the table. We are not getting its inner text, and we can see here that our table is nothing. So why is that? Should I put the index in here? No, this is very wrong. Wait, let me think in here. Pit table, and there's only one table. Why I cannot activate it? It's still nothing. What's our problem in here? Yeah, this is our mistake. So instead of 1, it should be 0. So indexing always start in 0, and if you only have one table, it should be 0, not 1. So finally I find it out. But no, we need to declare it. Get elements by tag name, and let's use tr in here, and check, use f8, and now you can see that we are able to print the first row and the other rows that we have on our table. Right, let's remove this. And now let's try to print the items that we have on each row. So using children null, let's use well, yeah, if you want to get the value per cell, you can use the children code. So I want to print each cell, so let's try to use another for each loop, but in this time we'll use td. And yep, Debug.Print td that inner text. You can see here the inner text per cell. So there. I think it's much better if we use children to print all the cell within each row. So it's used here the children 0. So indexing always start in 0. So this is the action, and then we need the other children. So let's copy this and let's replace it. It's index. We have 6 items, so we only have a total of 5 items, and then this is the WID description the types, status, and the date. Okay, so now let's try to print it. You can see that it first print our header in our table, but again we need to bypass that, and this is the first item that we need and the other items that we have. So we need to bypass the header of the table. So for that, we can put the value in here. So to do that, we need to declare our worksheet first. So we need to have a start row. Oops. Or you can do this like, you can do it like this, and let's put an if statement first here. So we don't want this header to be included in our Excel sheet, so let's use if tr the children 0, because it should not be equals to actions. So if yes, then we'll capture the information and send to our Excel file. So let me just indent this line.